As viewers of the popular series know, the patients hoping to enter Dr. Now's calorie-restricted weight loss program are at a tipping point. Nearly all are dependent on others for life's simpler tasks. Many are homebound, and some are bedridden. Few can walk more than a few feet without complications. That's why they seem eager to go under the knife. But things don't always go as planned, as there were plenty of surgeries that got canceled. And in today's video, we will look at some. So, let's roll. Michael Blair.
I'm both relieved and upset because my weight's not as high as I was afraid it could be.
When Texan Michael Blair contacted Dr. Now, his life was fully contained within his four walls, and he knew he needed to change. Michael, a married father of two, stated in his episode that he spends his entire day eating, a habit he developed at a young age. He and his mother moved home with his maternal grandparents when his own father left. Michael's grandma fed him constantly throughout the day. Despite her best intentions, she got him to the point where Michael gained close to 110 pounds by the time he was 7 years old. Depressed and embarrassed by his size, he sought food for comfort, which began a vicious cycle of depression and weight gain. As the cycle progressed, Michael withdrew inward, fearing the teasing of his classmates. Michael's mental health was further harmed after he was abused by a wilderness camp leader when he was 11 years old. Assuming that this was due to his weight, Michael set out to gain weight in the hopes of making himself more desirable to his molester. Michael weighed 250 pounds when he was 14 years old. Michael and his wife Kim both struggled with unhealthy eating habits in the early years of their marriage and gained significant weight. The couple was authorized for gastric bypass surgery because they wanted a healthy life for themselves and their new family. Unfortunately, Michael's surgery was postponed owing to a serious vehicle accident, which left him with significant abdominal scarring that made the gastric bypass impossible.
Without weight loss surgery, that's going to be very difficult for him to do for the long term.
Nathan Prater.
I'm at a point now where it's painful to do anything, and it gets worse every day because now I have this large sore on the back of my leg.
Nathan Prater's story was shown in Season 10 when he came to Dr. Now with a vision of improving his life. At the outset of the episode, Prater weighed 607 pounds, while his wife, Amber, weighed 502 pounds. The couple suffered together, not only from the physical consequences of their obesity, but also from the emotional consequences of their relationship. Amber and Nathan Prater made it apparent throughout the program that they hoped losing weight and adopting a healthy lifestyle would alter their marriage as well as their individual health. The pair had a lot of support from the audience, and when he met Dr. Now, he made it clear that he was at high risk for death. He even said that he isn't sure Nathan grasps just how close he was to dying. Nathan's weight was revealed to be just over 600 pounds at weigh-in. Because of his short stature, the weight on his body was putting a lot of strain on him. This was not, however, Nathan's first rodeo. He had attempted weight loss surgery in the past. He was unable to pay the copay since he lacked the $2,000 required. As a result, his old doctor decided to postpone the procedure. Nathan was so offended by this that he gave up on his goal of losing weight and becoming healthier. Dr. Now, thankfully, aided him and urged him to try again. Nathan set a weight loss goal of 50 pounds, but he ended up shedding 75. He was given permission to have surgery.
I'm here at the hospital for my weight loss surgery, and I'm excited to finally get something I've needed for years.
David Nelson.
It's so hard to force myself to get up in the mornings because my back is messed up from my weight.
When viewers first met Nelson, he was barely 30 years old and at a point in his life where his body was impacting his mobility and overall health. His problems stretched beyond chronic back and muscle pain, especially because he needed a continuous positive airway pressure machine to sleep. Nelson's problems began when he was a young child. As a result of the stress of never having a secure home or even loving parents, food became his only real source of comfort. Nelson was born to a drug addict mother, and his father was never involved in his life. Nelson was dumped into the system as a result, and he was regularly nursed by foster parents who were only in it for the money. Nelson gained almost 250 pounds by the time he was in middle school as a result of his difficult home life. He stayed active through football and wrestling until he was kicked out of his family in his mid-adolescence for throwing a party when his parents were gone attending his adopted grandmother's funeral. David's fight with cellulitis infection, which nearly claimed his life, served as the final wake-up call. As a result, he approached Dr. Now for some much-needed help. He weighed in at 763 pounds at the time. He dropped 68 pounds in just a few months after starting the program and was approved for surgery right away. David was required to shed another 30 pounds and relocate to Houston at the time. However, events changed when he returned to the 730s, and Dr. Now had no choice but to cancel his surgery.
It seems so, because you're up to 733.
Lacey Buckingham.
You think you can do that?
Yes, I've got to. It's not a game anymore.
Lacey Buckingham had a traumatic childhood, including being raped while she was in the 3rd grade. Lacey became even more depressed when she finally told her parents about her ordeal, despite the fact that it took her a long time to do so. As a result, when she was given the option to leave home and attend college, she developed an eating disorder and grew overweight quickly. She discovered that her physique was getting in the way of day-to-day work after she started working after college, and she was compelled to resign.
It's okay. I'm really missing chili with a lot of onions. I've loved chili since I was little.
Lacey got into feeder relationships, which consisted of her eating as much as she could for men who would subsequently take care of her. But Lacey managed to break free from feederism and was dating Ricky when we saw her on the show. He seemed entirely devoted to Lacey and was always there for her. Ricky looked to be incredibly patient with her while assisting her in intimate activities. Lacey discovered that she weighed roughly 593 pounds after attending Dr. Now. She was then given a 30-day deadline to shed 50 pounds in order to be considered for the program. Lacey started out strong, but she quickly fell behind and began missing appointments. As a result of her problems with Ricky's sister, their relationship was damaged. Lacey eventually reported Ricky and his sister to the police, stating they had made her feel uncomfortable. Lacey was only able to lose a few pounds due to her failure to stick to her weight reduction plan, and she was not eligible for the procedure during her initial visit to the clinic. Despite giving her a second chance to meet the goal, Dr. Now was skeptical of her dedication and commitment to the cause.
All right, so if you need anything, give me a call.
Yes.
And let me know how things going, okay?
Before we go on to the last canceled surgery on our list, we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's video, as well as if you have any favorite shows that you'd like to see on the channel. Crystal Hall.
I hate how I'm passing on how I eat to Josh.
I can't live with myself if he ends up like me.
Crystal had a difficult childhood and confesses to being physically abused by her mother's boyfriend. That wasn't all, though. A cousin sexually assaulted her. The boyfriend's brother afterward assaulted her and her sister. To cope with the pain, Crystal turned to food as a coping technique. She rapidly noticed that the larger she became, the less she was molested. So she continued to eat and gain weight in the hopes of repelling the abusers. Crystal knew that she needed Dr. Now's aid since she had a variety of health problems, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and stomach problems. She also had PCOS, which made it difficult for her to conceive. Crystal, on the other hand, was an excellent mother to her nephew Josh, whom she was finally able to adopt. When the Ohio native arrived in Houston, she weighed a whopping 618 pounds. Following Dr. Now's stringent diet, she was able to lose 91 pounds and drop to a weight of 527 pounds. Dr. Now cleared Crystal for gastric bypass surgery after she lost nearly 100 pounds. Unfortunately, a lockdown was implemented shortly after she was authorized for weight loss surgery owing to the coronavirus outbreak.
It was just hard feeling like I was going nowhere for so long. But things are back on track.
She reverted to old behaviors while in quarantine, and as a result, she gained 53 pounds. If Crystal ever hoped to receive the operation, Dr. Now advised her to reduce the weight she had gained and relocate to Houston to be watched by him. She did exactly what the doctor told her, and the episode ended with her and her supportive family moving to Texas. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again